Hello and welcome to Story Guitar School. Today we're going to learn a song by Jack Johnson called Banana Pancakes. I'm going to split this into two lessons, so this is part one. This is going to be the intro. Alright, so the classic Jack Johnson Banana Pancakes lick. Just to start off with how it sounds like, here's how it goes. Alright, so we're going to break this intro into, there's four sections to it, okay? We're going to start with section one. Section one is, they're all going to start in the same place. We're going to start with our ring finger on the 5th fret of the E string. We're going to start here, we're going to pluck and slide to the 7th, so 5th to 7th. Nice. Next note after this is going to be our 5th fret of the A string with our pointer finger. Notice since we used our ring finger on the E string, it sets us up perfectly to just naturally drop that right there. So, first three notes of part one. So, once we get up here to the A string, the next note's going to be back down to the 7th fret of the E string. Just like that. When I play slow like this, I want you to be playing along, and then you can rewind this video as many times as you need till that feels natural. And once you have each next step of this little ladder done, then go on and add the next note and the next note. So after we are back at the 7th fret here, we're going to go to the 5th fret of the E string. One more time. Alright, then from the 5th fret of the E string with our pointer finger, we're going to pluck and slide to the 3rd fret. Just like that. So, starting with our ring finger on the 5th fret of the E string, start our walk up, and walk back down. We'll do it 2 more times nice and slow. And again. Alright, now this last piece here for section one, we're going to go open E, and then we're going to go with our pointer finger on the 3rd fret of the E string and slide it back to the 5th. Just like that. Open, 3rd to 5th. We'll do just this little portion twice, and then we'll do the whole intro now twice. Alright, so now starting again, 5th fret of the E string with our ring finger. Just like that. We'll do it 2 more times. One more time. Sweet. So with each of these little licks, Jack Johnson he sets up a little section, and then he sort of puts a little bow on the top of it with a nice chord. So at the end of this little lick, we're going to play an A7 bar chord. So since you notice we finish with our pointer finger on the 5th fret of the E string, that sets us up perfectly to drop that bar across the 5th fret. We're going to drop our ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. That's our A7 chord. Our A minor 7 chord. Sweet. So we'll do this whole section one really slow twice, including the A minor 7 bar chord. 2 more times. And one more. Nice. So now we're going to move on to section 2. So for section 2, we're going to start in the same place. It's very similar to section 1. We're going to start with a ring finger on the 5th fret of the E again. We're going to slide to the 7th. We're going to do the same thing again, going up to the 5th fret of the A string. Walk it back. Same slide down to the 3rd fret. Here's the only difference. We're going to go open and stay on the 3rd fret. In part 1, we went open, 3rd to 5th. Here we're just going to go open and stay. So I'm going to play this part 2 really slowly, 3 times, and it should make some more sense. Just like that. We end on a G note. Alright, and one more. Alright, so at the end of part 2, the little bow that Jack Johnson likes to put on is our G7 chord. So we're at the 3rd fret with our pointer finger, and we're going to drop the bar across the 3rd fret. We're going to add our ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string. We're going to add our middle finger on the 4th fret of the G string. Alright, now we'll play this whole part B twice, including the G chord. One more time. Awesome. Alright, so now we're on to part 3, or section 3. Section 3 of our Jack Johnson Banana Pancakes intro. So once again, we're going to start here on the 5th fret with our ring finger on the E string. We're going to go to the 7th again. We're going to the A string again, but this time we're going to go 5th and 7th. Just like that. The 2 more times, nice and slow. 5th to 7th and 5th to 7th on the E and then A string. We're doing a slide on the E string, and we're just going to pluck them on the A string. Slide, pluck, pluck. Alright. So then once we're at the top here with our ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string, we're going to walk it back down. So back to the 5th, back to the 7th of the E string. And here's a little tricky, we're going to go open and 5th. We're going to do that 3 more times, nice and slow. E, A, E, open E, 5th. One more time. Nice. And here we're using we're going to do another A minor 7 bar chord. So drop the bar chord across the 5th fret, drop the ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. Awesome. And that leaves us with our last part, part 4 of the intro. And we actually already know it because part 4 is the same as part 2. So quick reminder, we'll play it really slow, but I'm going to go straight through it, starting with a ring finger on the 5th fret of the E string. Awesome. So now let's play the whole intro straight through, nice and slow. I'm going to do this one twice in a row, slow, and then the 3rd time at a slightly quicker pace, and see if we can play along. 1, 2, ready, go. That was part 1, on to part 2. That was part 2, on to part 3. And on to part 4, which is part 2. Nice. We play it again without telling you which part's which. play it one more time at a bit of a more sing-along pace, and see how it goes. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, can't you see that it's just raining? There ain't no need to go outside. Oh, can't you see that it's just raining? There ain't no need to go outside. Alright, that's it for part 1. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you in part 2.